I'm CJ.
My name is Jaden.
I'm Logan Smiley.
And today we're going to be comparing and contrasting The Wizard of Oz and The Return to Oz. Okay, so in the original Oz, Dorothy has a tornado hit her hometown of Kansas, and then she gets swept into the world of Oz.
Very tragic.
She has three friends, Tin Man, Scarecrow, Lion, and then must escape the clutches of evil, wicked witch of the West. In The Return to Oz, there's a terrible storm. Dorothy woke up in the land of Oz again after hiding outside. There she meets friends like TikTok, Jack Pumpkinhead, and Scarecrow.
She killed the Witch of the East.
She also has a chicken who helps her defeat the villain at the end of the story.
I didn't think that was possible. I think the chicken was on steroids.
Bro!
It wasn't on steroids. He was trying to
talking.
run away from KFC.
Magic crack.
Is this Return of Oz now? Oh.
Yeah, just go through the main points.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
So now I'm going to be talking about Wizard of Oz, one of the most influential and famous movies of all time. A girl from Kansas named Dorothy ends up in Oz after she and her pet dog Toto are swept away from their home by a tornado. I'm going to say that again. A girl from Kansas named Dorothy ends up in Oz after...
Just read what's off of
Dude,
there.
we're just doing Brazilian funk while you're reading, bro. Freestyle on it.
No!
Read it.
A girl from Kansas named Dorothy ends up in Oz after she and her pet dog Toto are swept away from their home by a tornado. Tragic. She learns she cannot return home until she has destroyed the Wicked Witch of the West, and she says something with the Emerald City Wizard.
You know what's so weird about it though? It's why is there so much violence? Dude, honestly, Oz is the older version of O Block. I'm not gonna lie, man. All this violence, they don't use guns, but they use magic and stuff. What kind of normal witch flies into a city in a bubble? How does that even work? Honestly, the good witch, the one wearing all pink, she might be the suspicious one. I'm not gonna lie. Because think about it like this. She manipulated Dorothy to kill the Witch of the East with her house somehow. I don't know how that's possible. That's
No.
To land there,
You did not watch the movie.
to land there. To land there in that exact spot where that exact witch there was only 3 witches. To land in that exact spot where one of those witches was. Isn't that a little bit suspicious?
Technically, there's 2 witches if you do WHICH and WITCH.
I mean, have you watched Wicked?
No,
nobody watches that.
Wicked
wants
is
to
lore
watch
now.
that.
Wicked is lore now.
Yeah, now it's lore because we watched the original Wizard of Oz.
I don't think we're on topic.
I'm looking and it's a little bit suspicious. I look
Are
at
we on
old
topic?
clips. Dude, the old
are?
the good witch, right? The good witch, she was so suspicious, right? Her sister's dead, she doesn't care. And then she specifically wanted Dorothy to get rid of the Witch of the West. What if the Witch of the West was the good guy in this situation? Somehow.
I mean, she might be.
She might be.
We don't know.
Think about it like this. You notice how the good witch didn't let Dorothy leave Oz until she killed the Witch of the West.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that a little suspicious?
It is. I say that's suspicious because I can just agree with you. Next topic, guys. What is the
Hear
difference?
me out, though.
Ooh.
Dorothy, I'm just gonna say.
Hear me out, Dorothy.
Sma-
Yeah, we have Deseret though. We can bring her in.
Yo,
No, you know what? We'll keep this a secret.
We can bring in a special guest. Jeremiah.
No, we're not bringing him out.
Mr.
Okay,
Munoz.
guys. Next topic. Change the subject. What's the difference between The Return of Oz and Wizard of Oz?
The Wizard of Oz was better than The Return to Oz.
The Return to Oz was better than The Wizard of Oz.
I agree.
The Wizard of Oz left so many questions unanswered for no reason whatsoever.
Unanswered. Everything was answered.
Why did the witches all have to die except for the good witch?
Because it was the good witch.
But
The witch
there was
didn't
only
really die.
she was the only one to advocate for herself. So was she good?
Listen, it was 19 what? 50?
39.
Yeah, actually. it was
39?
1939.
Holy crap. And they had.
You know what also happened in 1939? Hitler's invasion of Poland.
That is true.
Little coincidental, huh?
That is true.
World War II.
Started in 1939.
No, 29. I thought.
Are you, dude? Anne Frank was born
My
in
grandma was born in
1929.
1941 after the World War.
Yeah,
the World
started.
War was still going on.
It was still going in
Really?
1941.
Yes.
It didn't stop. It went from 1939, September 1939, and it finished in Europe in April of 1945, and it finished in the United States in September 1945. Yeah, I know my World War II and Civil War.
I used to be so invested in World War II.
Oh, I still am, bro.
Okay, so
I know where Hitler's bunker is.
can we.
Nobody does, but I do. I found it.
Because you're French. Okay? Listen. Okay, so.
It's actually in
What-
Berlin.
Okay, we get it. What is. Instead of saying Wizard of Oz is better than Return of Oz, we all know that. Return of Oz is a weird movie. What is the main differences of Return of Oz, except for the pets?
Okay, I got that.
Okay.
The main villain is now the Gnome King.
Yep.
There's Wheelers, which are
It's creepy.
stupid and creepy.
They're so creepy.
Um,
Those made me cry. Seeing those.
She finds new friends in a way that are weird and
The
should not
Pumpkinhead.
be, existing. And the Munchkins kind of freak me out a little bit.
Which ones were the Munchkins?
I have a
They're the
question.
short people.
I have a question. Why was Dorothy animated in Return to Oz? And why, if that's supposed to be the sequel, then why was she animated?
No, it's a journey back to Oz.
Well,
The one with the Joker?
there's too many remakes. I feel like, it feels like the MCU a little bit. Like, they're all in this, like, different universes. It's like a multiverse of Oz. Like, for example, you have the black one. Then you have...
Listen, that one was just an inspiration, okay? Michael Jackson did good on that one. I'll offend that one. I love that movie.
He
Even
said,
though it's
Michael
creepy.
Jackson also said, I had a dream, and it did not go well.
That was Martin Luther King.
that was...
No, I know, but I'm saying like they're saying.
Oh, remember when Pierce went, I had a dream? That was, like, aura.
That was fun.
I don't know how he didn't win the election. That was so stupid. He should have won by a landslide. I literally said, I called it. I was like,
Okay, whoa.
So,
whoa.
hold on. Okay, so, I'm gonna say like one closing remark is that, in general, just watch the original and chill with that.
Yeah, no, never watched The Return of Oz. It's nothing. Nothing is so close to it. Nothing is close.
Think
Stop.
about the conspiracies. All of them. Every single one. Answer the questions.
You don't.
Every unanswered question must be answered.
There's a camera right there. You don't have to stare.
Oh.
Yeah, dude.
All of the unanswered questions could be answered with just...
Is this a soundboard?
That is true.
No, that's a mixer.
What is that?
Don't press it.
You
Tell
can
her
use
that.
it for music and stuff like that.
You know?
Bumbleclot.
And then cut right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that as a jingle. I'm
We
using
did
that
it.
as a jingle.
We did
Oh
it.
shoot.
Oh.